What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and I have a special guest with me, Football Pharaoh. We are back again with another tier list, and we have to really show the World Cup qualifying content some love. So that's why we're here with another comprehensive, insightful, and detailed. Gotta take my time here. Analysis of the African Confederation. We have already did one for the CONCACAF in the past. We've touched on UEFA, and now we gotta show Africa some love because my boy Football Pharaoh is actually half Egyptian, half American. So that's awesome. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty okay tonight, Dom. Yet again, thank you for having me on. We go through a very tricky confederation tonight with Africa. I'm looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are and the feedback from the fans and the subscribers as well.
Definitely. So 40 teams left in World Cup qualifying for Africa, but 35 won't make it. Africa has 5 places, and the format has changed. I have to say that this is the worst format ever. This is the adoption of the 2014 format, and it's the most brutal of formats you could ever think of. So let me just, before you let me know your thoughts on the format, let me just explain the format. So this is the second time the format is being used, and CAF decided to use the format they used for the 2014 World Cup, where the first round teams, the first round where the 28 teams ranked 27 to 54 played home and away over 2 legs, and the 14 winners advanced to the second round. And in the second round, there will be 40 teams ranked 1 to 26, and the 14 first round winners, they were divided into 10 groups of 4 teams. 10 groups of 4, right? Then the 10 group winners would advance to the third round. Yes, the 10 group winners. So after you have won your group, you still have to go through to the third round, where the group winners will be drawn against each other to play home and away over 2 legs, and the 5 winners will qualify for the World Cup. So when I say the 5 group winners, there will be 5 different paths, and those 2 teams will play against each other. And even if you topped your group in the second round and you were impressive, you went invincible throughout the whole thing, you could still miss out on the World Cup qualification. That's what I don't like. That's what I really don't like. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, the tiers that we're going to be using will be going to Qatar. Teams that we think would make it through the grueling qualification process, all 3 rounds, and actually qualify. It's difficult. It is really difficult I think we're going to mess up a lot of this. I think we're going to really mess up a lot of these. Let me just put that out there, because I know my African brothers like to come and say, oh, how you didn't put my team there, whatnot. But we actually gonna mess up a few of these. And Football Pharaoh, he's just drinking coffee shots. It's not actually, he's not drinking tequila shots or anything.
No.
So there's
save the tequila for when Egypt don't qualify.
So there's also standby, missed the flight, visa denied, and invalid passport, where the bottom 3 tiers are teams we think won't make it to Qatar, but the standby tier are teams that we think has potential, but we're not 100% sold on. So we just put them on standby. If there's any room, you'll get on the plane. So without further ado, man, I've explained the format, I've explained the tiers, and let's get into this one. All right, so let's do this. This is difficult, man. Look, I know the criticism is gonna be there in the comments, so I expect it, guys. I do expect it. So look, Group A is Algeria, Burkina Faso, Djibouti, who are potential debutants, along with Burkina Faso and Niger. So there's 3 potential debutants in this group, along with the current holders of the African Cup of Nations. Let's start with potential debutants. Niger. Talk to me. Where you have Niger?
Well, let me say first, I didn't get to comment on the format. I'm with you right there. I'm not a big fan of it at all. It's giving me some PTSD, because that scenario you described of going 100% record and missing out, that's happened to Egypt. They won all 6 games in the group stages in 2014. They even won the first leg of the second round, and they lost, albeit pretty big, at the second leg, and they missed out despite winning 7 out of 8 games. So, yeah.
Who did Egypt play again? Was it
Ghana?
Yeah, it was Ghana. I didn't want to say it and I was wrong. Yeah, but Ghana was on the tip of my tongue. So
yeah.
Harsh format.
And we're gonna have a lot of it's gonna be hard to do this. There's gonna be a lot of disagreement in the comment section, and there's gonna be a lot of disagreement, I think, maybe between you and I as well. Well, anyway. I
don't know. Maybe we on the money again with this one. Where do you have Niger in this in terms of overall? Even if they get through the group, what do you think will happen to Niger at the end of it all? Talk to me.
Right, we're doing it based on making it to the big stage, right? Yeah, I have invalid passport.
I actually have Niger in visa denied from my analysis, but we will be using Football Pharaoh's picks for the tier list because he's my guest, so we'll be using his picks. And I brought him on primarily to hear his opinion, to hear what he has to say. So it's all about him. All right, guys? So just remember that. But I'm also sharing my picks with you. So I have them in visa denied. So we're going to move right on. Not much to say about Niger. I think they are minnows in terms of Africa. And from doing my very, very deep research, nothing really to actually talk about in terms of any past achievements for Niger. So we are going to move on to Djibouti, who are currently ranked 183rd the last time I checked, and they defeated Eswatini in order to make it to the second round. They are also potential debutants. Where do you have them finishing? Oh, also before I go on, Niger versus Burkina Faso also happened for the 2014 group stages. So that's just something to remember there. Talk to me about Djibouti.
I think they did well to come through the first round. They weren't even expected to do that. I have them as invalid passport, though.
So you're going to actually help me with some of these flags, but I think this is the Djibouti flag right there with the star and the green and the white right there. So you have them in invalid passport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries. There's 40 teams. The flags are going to be... A lot of the African flags are very similar with the red, gold, and green. Very, very similar, man. So it's going to be very difficult to differentiate these flags as we go on. So the next team, look, Djibouti, for me, just to let you know where I have them in invalid passport. So we do agree when it comes to Djibouti. Progressive nation, progressive team, but I don't think they're ready yet in terms of their going to the World Cup in Qatar. Let's talk about one of the most interesting teams in Africa, Burkina Faso, potential debutants. But little do you guys know that Burkina Faso has made it to the final round of African World Cup qualifiers, Football Pharaoh, in 98, 2002, 2006, 10, where they almost made it in 2010, 2014, and 2018. What has prevented Burkina Faso from making it to the World Cup? They are a team that has you and I. I'm going to put together a video where we talk about teams that almost made it but never made it. Something really special that we're going to talk about. What's with Burkina Faso never making it to the World Cup but have always came close? Where do you have them this time around?
I have them on standby, which I think is fair because they are by far and away Algeria, who we'll talk about in a moment, their biggest threat in this group. And if they were to get past the Fennecs Foxes, all hands are off the... How's the expression go? All cards are off the table. Hands are off the table. As far as how they'll do in the playoffs, because 180 minutes, anything can happen. So I think they're still a decent team. And I think that they can certainly finally make it to their first ever World Cup, which is kind of incredible, as you alluded to, that they didn't. I mean, all those near misses, especially in 2014, where they missed out, coincidentally, to Algeria on away goals rule.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to put them on miss the flight, but for you, you put them on standby. But I think they have some talent. They have a player by the name of Lassina Traore. I think he's from Burkina Faso, a youngster who just moved to Shakhtar. There's another Bertrand Traore, and a few other very, very good players that I'm not going to get too deep in because I might mix it up and everything. But I actually have them on missing the flight. But you've made some great points. And I also have written down, yes, Algeria beat Burkina Faso 3-3 on away goals in 2014. So how closer do you want to get to making it to the World Cup? Away goals, bro. This is harsh. This is harsh. And I did get the Burkina Faso flag right? Did I?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So last but not least, the holders of the AFCON, Algeria. And Algeria qualified for the 1982, 1986. There was a long break. They qualified for 2010 and also in 2014. They missed the 2018 World Cup, but bounced back to win the AFCON. Your thoughts on Algeria here? I actually have Algeria as one of my teams directly qualifying for Qatar. I'm convinced.
Yeah, I think they're going to go to Qatar. They should. I think that they only really have one big challenge in this group in Burkina Faso, who they're better than. Algeria are also, just like Italy, on somewhat of an undefeated streak themselves. They have not lost any of their last, I believe it was 27 or 28 fixtures.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that they're still the best side in Africa. That came into our home turf a couple of summers ago and won the AFCON. And I think that as far as, competition within Africa is concerned, not only could they make it back to the World Cup, they're a very real threat to possibly repeat as champions. They're still a very stacked squad all around. They're under.
What do you mean? Repeat as champions of the African Cup of Nations?
Yes. Which takes place. Yeah. So it's not surprising that I have them qualifying directly to Qatar, getting through that playoff. But here's a little bit of a surprise. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. They're only one of two teams I have absolutely qualifying for Qatar.
Yeah, I have three. Maximum of 5. I have three. I'm sold on 3 teams, and they're one of the 3 teams. So that's something that we actually agree on. But we will disagree on a lot of things, I realize, going forward. So Algeria under Belmadi, Jamal Belmadi, has done very, very well. The team has hordes of talent, man. Riyad Mahrez, Ben Sibayani. There's what's that midfielder, man? That highly rated midfielder from AC Milan, Benacer, Yusuf Belaili is still there. And the list goes on, man. I'm not even going to get too deep and get myself confused. There's also Said Ben Rama has come through lately. So Mbouli, the goalkeeper, is still around. So quality team, man. And I think they'll qualify directly for Qatar 2022. We're going to move right on to Group B and keep the ball rolling, I should say. And in this group, we have Tunisia, Zambia, Mauritania, and Equatorial Guinea. So Equatorial Guinea, Zambia, and Mauritania are all potential debutants. So you could see how one-sided a lot of these groups are, and it would take something special to knock out the favorites to top the group. Well, in the likes of Algeria and Tunisia. Let us talk about Equatorial Guinea. Potential debutants, they defeated South Sudan, and they also qualified for the 2021 African Cup of Nations. So, look, also to note, the last time this format was used, Tunisia missed out. So, this could be an Achilles heel, a kryptonite for this Tunisian team, very gritty Tunisian team. So, talk to me about Equatorial Guinea here, real quick.
I have them on visa denied. I think good for them for making it back to the AFCON. They got to the semifinals on home soil of that tournament back in 2015, I want to say, or maybe I don't know. It was either 2012 or 2015.
Yeah, they did host. They did host the tournament, right, a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and it's a
Is it No, where's their flag? I'm telling you, I'm gonna get really mixed. Is this? Wait, is it this?
No,
flag, right?
yeah, you're right. It is that one.
Wait,
It's next
is
to
it this?
Egypt.
Is
Yes.
it this one? Visa denied.
Mhm.
Yeah, the fact that the flags are actually in circles makes it even harder, though. So, but I think I'm pretty on point with most of them still. So, anything else to add on Equatorial Guinea? I really don't have much to add on them. You know what I mean?
No.
Don't know the team very well, and from my research, they have not been doing very well. One thing we must note is that they are a Spanish-speaking African nation. Just so you know, Equatorial Guinea. So we move on to Mauritania, who are potential debutants as well. So talk to me about Mauritania. And I did write down that they did something in 06, 2010, and 2018. They didn't do too bad in qualifiers. So talk to me about Mauritania.
One of the more improved teams on the African continent. This is now their second successive AFCON after making it for the first time 2 years ago. It's good to see other North African Arab nations finally come into their own. They've been kind of living in the shadow for most of their history behind Morocco and Algeria and all their neighbors. I think I have them on miss the flight. I think they're a dangerous squad with capable of getting an upset here or there, but it's a little bit too much. But I do rank them ahead of the likes of the minnows and the visa denied category. So
yeah,
miss the flight.
I do have them on visa denied, but yeah, I'm gonna throw them in miss the flight there as well. Yeah, so they are an Islamic nation as well, so you could see that's why they have the half moon and the star, just so you know. So we have Zambia, who are potential debutants as well, and they made it to the final round on quite a few occasions: 74, 94, 98, 2002. Quality team, but never seemed to be able to actually qualify for the World Cup. And interestingly, they are recent African Cup of Nations winner. You see what I'm saying? With the boys from Zesco. Big up. What you got?
Yeah, that famous 2012 Zambian side who won it. One of the biggest shocks in international football this century. So because I'm pretty confident that Tunisia will top this group, I have Zambia on miss the flight, not even on standby. Zambia, they've missed the last two AFCONs, the expanded format. They're not what they were 10 years ago. They're kind of struggling.
But I think if they are to pull off anything, it could be this time around, because they have guys like Enoch Mwepu, and they have Patson Daka, along with a few other very talented players. And if they are to do something, it would be this cycle. Definitely this cycle.
Is that guy Kennedy Mwine, is he still their goalkeeper?
I'm not even sure.
Okay.
So Zambia you have as Mr. Flight. Yeah, for Zambia, for me, I also have them on Mr. Flight. I think it's going to be a very tough task. Even if let's say they get past Tunisia, I don't see them beating one of the big boys who they potentially will meet in the final round. So the last team in Group B, Tunisia.
Standby, naturally. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Tunisia qualified in 78, 98, 2002, 2006, and they qualified in 2018. So Tunisia, man, they had a spell out, but they came back in 2018 and they look good. But and when I look at their roster, they still have the likes of Nsakni, and they have what's his name again, man? The big head guy.
Wabi Kazri, man, and they still have a few good players in their team, and a few. They have that kid coming through from Manchester United called Mejbri, I think his name is. There's a few good players in their team still, and I do have Tunisia on standby as well, and it's simply because this format has proven to be very harsh for Tunisia in the past, and I think in
they'll get through. They'll get through to the final round, but it'll be difficult. So I have them on standby as well. So you put in Tunisia on standby. You got Tunisia right here. Bam, bam. Tunisia on standby. And we're going to move right on because we have a lot of groups to go through.